Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. As you can see, we are in the car because I don't know if I'll have enough time this week to do a wrap up and a TBR. So that's going to be what this video is today. It's a combination because I did not read a lot in the month of February. If you watched my last video, you know February was not the best month for me, even though it was my birthday month. A lot of little things happened and I was in a bit of a reading slump, but that's okay. I ended up finishing some books like literally on the 25th or 26th February and getting in some manga. So there you have it. I read a total of 9 books. As of right now, I've read 33 books out of the 200 that I have for my goal for the year. And I didn't bring them with me, but it's okay because I'm gonna put a little, graphic up in the corner for y'all. So first I read Raw Hero Volume 6. So that was the final volume in the Raw Hero series. I've mentioned it before. It's about a guy who goes undercover to infiltrate the bad guys, but he's really working for the good guys. Not good. I gave it 2 stars. Clearly was rushed to the point that I had no idea what was going on. I do want to go back and start from the beginning, because when I started the last volume, I was like, what's going on again? I can't remember. Like they're delivering like they're supposed to be delivering a fake bomb. And this is supposed to be like the big thing that the bad guys do, but I don't know. Basically, I just kind of feel like the final volume seemed like it was like a throwaway. Like, okay, let's hurry up and get this finished. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. So I think I ended up rating that like 2 stars. As far as the whole series, I'd probably give it like maybe a 3. The other reason why I want to start from the beginning is because I feel like there was a plot hole in the very end. We meet somebody in this series who becomes infatuated with the main character, and she finds out that he is dressing as a woman, and she's going to use that against him. And that's how she keeps getting him to end up in these compromising positions. And in the last volume, they end up doing something. It's not truly hooking up, but I feel like it didn't end in a way that was like, okay, we'll never see from that character again. So yeah, not my favorite. I also read the 2nd volume of Magical Beatdown. Again, very short because it's like issue 2, even though it's called volume 2. So it's like 32 pages, but I really did like this one. While I liked the first one too, I liked the art style better in this one. You're still seeing your main character turn into a magical girl and beat men up. Not just beating them up, really murdering them brutally. So just know going in that there is a absolute lot of blood and guts and gore. So that was nice. Nice to see that. And I also read 4 volumes of Fire Force. So I read volume 6 through 9. Right now we're basically at the storyline where Shinra knows that someone is still alive. I'm gonna keep it kind of like no spoilers, because I know some people maybe haven't watched it yet and haven't read it, and maybe you're interested, so I'm not going to give too much away. But he finds out that someone is alive who he thought was dead. They're getting a little bit more information about the evangelist, and they now have a new person in their crew, which I will say, because it's not really that big of a deal. It's Vulcan. He's somebody who they bring on to be his engineer, or their engineer for the Fire Brigade 8. And obviously we've already met Benny Maru and everything. They're kind of training with them, so very exciting. Still really loving reading it. Basically, like, I watched the manga and I've seen all of this, but I am annotating it a little bit if I kind of felt like, okay, we're talking about the power plant basically that gives the energy to power this world after the huge like cataclysm. And I had to annotate it because I was like, okay, I watched this a long time ago and I forgot, and I can't remember everything. So yes. All right. So next up, I read Take a Hint, Dani Brown. I'm pretty sure I rated that 5 stars, and it was so good. I don't want to compare like Chloe and Dani's books, but if I had to choose which was my favorite of the two, it's gonna be Dani. I really, really like Dani as a character. I liked Zaf as her love interest. If you watched my review of Get a Life, Chloe Brown, I hate Red. Oh my God. I hate his name. I hate that his name is Redford. I hate that he's a redhead. I just could not stand him. But I liked Chloe. And the only thing I ended up liking about the first book was getting to see Chloe and then her sisters. I could not stand Redford. He is a little too aggressive, a little bit too quick to anger, if you ask me. Versus Zaf, who actually is like that dude who would beat your ass, but he never does, and it never comes off like as toxic as it did with Red, in my opinion. But anyway, Take It, Dani Brown. It's Dani. This is one of the Brown sisters, and she is definitely my favorite. She is a professor. I don't remember exactly what she actually teaches, but I like the field that she's teaching in. She is somebody who isn't really into monogamy. She doesn't want a serious relationship because of some past thing. And Zaf is a hot ass rugby player who teaches youths, just a sweet man. So basically this is a fake dating trope, and I absolutely loved it. So fantastic. They have to fake date because there is a school fire drill that goes on. Dani's so preoccupied, she doesn't check her email. She doesn't realize that there's gonna be a fire drill. So she gets stuck in the elevator. Zaf, who, you know, has a little cute back and forth with her, he definitely has a crush on her, realizes when everybody's out of the school that she's not there. He goes back in, physically opens the elevator to carry her out like a princess, and all of the kids are like, let's put this on Twitter. So they take a video, they take a picture, and the thing that he does where he has like a after school rugby team for teens, and it's also like talking about mental health and stuff like that, because he had this thing that happened to him when he was a rugby player, and his mental health is not that great. He suffers from anxiety, and it takes off because of this hashtag that's created when people think that they're dating each other. And I really, really liked this book. I like romance in general, but one thing I hate is like the miscommunication situation. So for example, in Get a Life, Chloe Brown, that one annoyed the fuck out of me. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Redford, Redford? Ugh. But in this one, not bad. It made sense. You know, she is scared of commitment for several different reasons, whereas Zaf is somebody who reads romance novels. He loves love. He wants to be in a relationship. He gets involved sexually with Dani, and he's like, I know this is a bad idea. I can handle it. He cannot, obviously. And in general, it's just really good. So the moment where they might have like a falling out or a miscommunication, in my opinion, it felt more real. It felt a little bit more realistic, and it was a lot less annoying when we finally get back on track. So that was a 5-star read. I'm not sure when I'm going to read the third book, but we'll see. Next, I read The Bronzed Beasts. This was the final book in the Gilded Wolves trilogy. I thought it was really good. I cried at the end. I thought that this was a perfect end to the series. And the thing I like so much about this series in general is that I feel like the characters, they've been through so much. Okay. This final book, it's 10 days. It's not a long book, in my opinion. So it's 10 days. It's Layla's final 10 days, possibly. You know, I'm not going to give too much away. And it's like high stakes. I like the fact that this is historical fantasy, and the characters are so lovable. I love Hypnos. I love Enrique. I love Zofia. Like, it's just really good. So it's a good end to this huge world-ending possibility, right? because like the world could end with this Lear. Again, not gonna give too much away because it's the final book. I know some people just got around to reading the Gilded Wolves, and that's okay. I know it's not for everybody. I think, unfortunately, the Gilded Wolves got... Everybody kept saying that it was like, it's like Six of Crows. And yeah, it's a group of people who happen to be doing some heists type situations. They're stealing artifacts at the time. But to me, no. I definitely think that they obviously have some similarities, but it's the like historical aspect of it that Roshani Chokshi puts in there. And I don't know. I just don't think that they're the same. I think that they are both their own separate cool books, cool series. And I know it's not for everybody. Not a lot of people like Gilded Wolves, but I love it. I love the series. And it was a sad ending, and that final scene, ooh, girl, had me crying. And lastly, I finally freaking finished the Anita Blake book I've been reading for, it felt like a damn year. The Killing Dance. I don't know what I rated it at this point, since I've reread it so many times. God damn, it took me a long time to finish that, let me tell you. So I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I accidentally skipped a book. So The Killing Dance actually comes after Blue Moon, which I will be reading next month, or this month. But The Killing Dance is a really good one. This is like the real send-off of what's to come and the consequences of Jean-Claude, Richard, and Anita becoming a triumvirate, which is very sad to me. Anita finally gets to slob on some knob, finally, after all this fucking build up of, will I have sex with Richard? Will we get married? So on and so forth. Let me tell you, it's a damn shame. I wonder if y'all can hear those sirens. Where I am at work, did I mention I'm at work? I don't know what it is about this area. This and like another place I'm about to go 15 minutes away, there's always an ambulance. I have no clue why. I don't know what the hell goes on around here, but not a single day do I come up in this area, and it doesn't matter what day of the week, doesn't matter what time, there's an ambulance. Sometimes several ambulances. What the fuck? But anyway, this is the start of me kind of not hating Anita, but basically they have to come together. Jean-Claude has to give her and Richard a mark to save them. So Anita becomes his human servant, kind of, not all the way. And then Richard becomes the wolf pack owner, the leader of the wolves, and his animal to call. And what ends up happening is they end up kind of like switching, I don't want to say personalities, but like Anita has always been someone who has a short fuse, and she's always been, I don't think that she's angry. I just think that she's very quick to, she'll get a tootie. I know what it's like. But Richard, who has always been very level-headed, very, I don't want to hurt anybody, I don't want to resort to this, he ends up having to kill in this book, which is also a part of where his personality changes. But because they become like a triumvirate, Richard becomes a completely different person. And I think that's where this series becomes a downfall to me. I hate that Laurel K. Hamilton did that to that character, because I really liked him. I'm just saying. So those are the books I read in February. Now let's get on to some of the books I want to read in March. So, and I brought them with me because I'm going to read them now. So I want to keep on track with not being in a reading slump. So I'm going to read the next 3 volumes in Fire Force, 10, 11, and 12. Very exciting. Yeah, so I think I have all these volumes up to volume 15. So I'm going to have to start buying the next, wow, I think there's like 30 volumes now. But I'm going to buy them 5 at a time. Whatever, we'll see. I don't really have a rhyme or reason to how I buy manga. I just do it and it ends up on my shelves. So definitely excited to continue with the series. I don't know, like when I get to volume 15, I'm not sure how far into the anime I will be, you know, but I'm excited. Next up, I did not get to it, but Murder Lo Mein by Vivian Chen. This is book, damn, what book am I on? Book 3? Book 4? Book 3? Book 3, I think. This is book 3 in the Noodle Shop Mystery. I talked about this in the February TBR video. I'm not going to go over it again, but I am going to read it. Okay, I am going to read it. So I'm actually going to go back and read Blue Moon. So like I said, this is the book that actually came before The Killing Dance. The nice thing is that even though there is a scene in here that is kind of important to the next book, I've read it before, so it doesn't matter. It's kind of nice because this one takes her completely away from Jean-Claude and Richard. She has to go on a job to raise the zombies for some like real estate realtor dude who's trying to build on native land. No, it's not gonna happen. So someone is trying to sabotage it. The whole point is they want her to raise these zombies to see if that's his ancestors, and then I think that through whatever, it ends up being his land, not the native land. And there's a big bad scary vampire in here, but she goes away with Larry. Larry is like the really young, starting to get a little bit more experience animator that we meet like a few books from now. This is one of my favorites, and actually this was the book that got me into the Anita Blake series. My stepdad recommended it. I think he read this. I'm pretty sure he didn't read any of the other ones, but that's okay. He recommended that I read this book, and it is what launched my love of Anita Blake. And it was probably one of the better ones to start with, considering there's absolutely no sex in it. But by the time like I had read this, I don't think there was a bunch of books out yet, so thank God I started with this one. I still would have read it. I still would have read it. But yeah. And some other books that I definitely will be reading. I actually need to finish Kingsbane. I was kind of reading it here and there, but I did not finish it, and I didn't get very far. I also need to read Our Violent Ends. I said I was going to read that last time, and I did not. My bad. Let's get into the Kindle. So there's some other books I need to read on my Kindle, y'all. Like a lot. Let's open it. So I got approved on NetGalley to read Things We Do in the Dark by Jennifer Hillier. That comes out later this year. I'll try to put it up in the description. So that's when I have kind of started, and I really want to read before it comes out so I can do a review on it. The fact that I got approved for it, very exciting because I really like Jennifer Hillier. There's a few others on here, but in general, the rest of the books that I plan on reading are the ones that I got approved of on NetGalley that I did not read yet. Stay Awake by Megan Golden. The Final Strife. Was there anything else? There's quite a few. I need to do better. But that's really it. I'm going to try to keep it as easy as possible. I don't want to go too overboard, even though I ended up reading 9 books at the end of the month, and March is actually longer than February. I think I should be fine. I think I'm going to try to start off strong because I'm mentally in a good place right now. So I don't feel like I'm going to be, you know, hopefully not ending up in a reading slump like I did last month. I'm really trying to be positive. I go on vacation this month, so I'm very excited. But yeah, I think that that's a pretty nice and healthy reading goal. Am I wrong? Am I right? I think so. But anyway, thank you so much for watching my video. Thanks for hanging out in the car with me again. If you like the video, please like the video. If you like it, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Thank you so much for all of you who are still following me, subscribe to me. I really appreciate it. Are there any of the books that I talked about that you're interested in? Please let me know down in the comments. Are there any that you definitely have read and you think, girl, I hope you like it. You better like it. Let me know. And then I'll let you know how it went. So thank you so much. Have a good day. Goodbye.